Okay, so it's story time. Are you guys ready? All right, I know I am. I'm super excited right now because this is a new journey for me, and I'm really trying to, map my direction out with this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, y'all, is I'm gonna pull my tarot. Okay, and I'm gonna see what my spirit team wants me to tell you guys about me tonight. All right, y'all. So sit back, relax. I'm gonna try not to make this too long, but I do encourage you guys to go check out part 1 and part 2 of Memoirs of a Yoga, because it's breaking down, a little bit about my history. Okay, now I know I may seem like I'm gonna be just telling the stories. All right, it's no rhyme or reason. It's no I'm not trying to be be perfect. Okay, I'm just literally speaking. I'm speaking from my heart and from my experiences, and hopefully through these videos I'll be able to help you to overcome some things. All right, you never know, there may be some type of hidden jewels, messages that you can use. All right, so let me see. Thank you, my spirit team. Thank you for guiding me on this journey, and thank you that I'm able to bless all who tunes in some kind of way. What is it that you want me to share with my viewers? What is it that you want me to share with my viewers about myself? Alright, so the Judgment card comes out reverse, and the Four of Swords comes out in the reverse position. Okay, so alright. Okay, so I guess I still don't really understand, so I'm gonna keep pulling. But so far, what I'm pulling from this is the fact that my fears. Okay, I'm hearing fears, my fears. All right, because I was not listening to the call. Okay, it's like, you know how you hear the trumpets blowing right? I was not listening to it. Like, I was hearing it, but I was running from it. And I believe I told you guys about this in part 2, right? But it took a minute for me to really just, move into this purpose here that I'm in. I had a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, y'all, about this. Okay, like, let me tell y'all, my thoughts were even negative as hell. Like, people would never believe that I was a person who was not positive. Okay, because that's all I display now. Like, nothing comes out of my mouth. I mean, I do have my moments where negative stuff come out, but for the most part, like, I don't reflect on those thoughts. I don't hold those thoughts, and I'm not even going to give advice to anybody else that's going to include low vibrational thoughts, right? Not coming from my ego. But however, I wasn't listening. Okay, but I found that mental strength, literally, to come out of that fear, that anxiety, and to really tap into my higher self. Okay, so this journey again has been bittersweet. All right, but I made a life-changing decision, and that life-changing decision that I made was to change my life. Literally, was to embrace who I was. Okay, and also to be my most authentic self. All right, so like, when it comes to trusting your own judgment and your own intuition, it takes a lot to do that. And what blocks you in your intuition normally is your situations, your circumstances, especially if you're stressed, especially if you're worried, if you're fearful about anything, that usually will overwhelm you to the point where you can't see. Okay, and it messes with your mental state. So yes, I can actually say that I went through, depression. I believe it was situational depression, because I feel like I've always had the power to jump in and out of it. You understand? So it's like, if I went into a state of depression, sorry you guys, I got my air fryer going. If I went into a state of depression, I knew what to do to pull myself out of it. Okay, and some of the remedies I use to self-heal is I will always exercise. I'm always out in the park. I'm always moving my body. I will have a personal trainer. Like, I will always keep myself moving, and that usually balance my energy. So, but for the most part, that's what it was about. It was my circumstances. It's like always coming in contact with people who didn't have my best interest, and I ain't have that many people. Okay, I have not had a lot of boyfriends, sexual partners, or anything, and I can honestly, say that I'm at the age of 42. I had maybe 3 boyfriends. You understand? My whole life, like 3 boyfriends, y'all. Okay, so yeah, and I've always had very long-term relationships. I lost my virginity at 14, but I still can count on both hands, you know, literally, you know, how many partners I've had in this time frame, you know, that I've been actually sexually active. But however, it's like I guess you could say I don't even want to say I was a late bloomer, but I just didn't have these experiences. I was always connected to my spiritual side. Let's just put it that way. Like, since I was young, I remember writing a letter to my homegirl because she was sexually active at the age of 13, and I have this letter like, you know, you're supposed to wait till you're married. God is not, you know, going to be mad. You're sinning. Da, da, da. Like, that's the type of person I was, but that's what my upbringing was teaching me. You understand? My grandmother was very devout Christian, so my mom and them would always tell me, you know, don't have sex, save yourself for marriage, blah blah blah. But however, it's just like here, and even with this Knight of Cups that's coming in the reverse, it's like when I think about this, I know who that Knight of Cups is, right? That's like my first love. You know, that's my real true first love. Okay, so, and with that situation, I mean, I thought it was love. I mean, you know, it was high school love. That's what I'm thinking about. This is high school love, right? And that situation definitely ended up being very disappointing for me. Okay, so it's a lot there where I don't think I'm ready to touch that just yet. I'm not really ready to touch that situation just yet. But for the most part here, it's like getting through that, I still stayed resilient, right? I don't hold on to anything that has taken place within that connection because we were young. I started dating this guy probably like when I was 16. I was in high school. Okay, so and then once I stopped dealing with him at the age of 17, I literally jumped into another relationship, and that's with my ex-husband. Okay, so, and he definitely was in and out. Okay, he definitely was not a stable person, especially when it came to relationships. He playboy energy, let's just put it that way. That's what he was. Playboy, that's it. You know, and it's like through that, it's like I will always play this passive aggressive role. Always. I have experienced a lot of disappointment with that situation. You guys have heard me tell that story on numerous occasions, like several stories about my ex, right? But it was full of empty promises, or it just seems like, you know, with that situation, it was never balanced. And mind you, y'all, he was a Libra. So if you're a Libra tuning in, yeah, I'm coming for you. Okay, like a Libra man, right? He was a Libra, y'all. So you already know what type of situation it was, because dealing with them Libra men, y'all, oh my God, it's like they're so fun, they're so attractive, but when it comes to, you know, being on a scale of in a relationship with them, if they're not ready and if they're not serious, it's an up and down roller coaster, and that shit will make you have post-traumatic stress syndrome. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. But it's like, even though it was always so much adversity in my life, and this person like literally contributed to that adversity in my life, I was always still determined, to win. And it's just literally just like win at my situation, at my relationship. Like, that was my determination. It just felt like I had to put in that work. I had to work hard to make the relationships work. I had to make sacrifices, and in order for us to be able to come together and work together. It's like so much that I was holding on to, and it wasn't good for me, because he ended up being very stubborn. You understand? It didn't work. I still did everything on my own. Despite everything that I put out, it still seemed like it was a one-sided connection. Okay, so yeah, but basically, and what I'm hearing is like, the moral to all of this is more about you not losing your hope. Okay, and that's what I'm hearing. Not losing your hope and staying persistent, regardless of whatever the adversity is that is taking place with you and somebody that you may love, right? And sometimes we think that we should be connected to these people because we love them, but really they aren't our people, right? We try to force relationships to work with people and we're not supposed to be with them. So that was something that I did learn, as I was going through my divorces. Like, I kept trying to pray for this thing to work, and that wasn't my person. You know what I'm saying? This person was just a lesson for me to learn, and it took me a long time to learn it, like 20 years literally, right? But despite me having to make a choice, eventually, like I said, 20 years later, I decided to choose me. I know, right? So that, and I didn't even understand what I was doing. I just knew that I had to do something better for myself and for my son at the end of the day, because the situation wasn't getting better. Okay. Yep. Emperor in the reverse. He ended up being very stubborn. I wasn't reaching any of my long-term goals, wasn't disciplined, wasn't structured. It wasn't any of that. And he decided to make a choice to stay in that energy. 11:01 on my timer. He decided to make a choice to, not change, to be that person, to hold on to whatever the grudges and anger that he was harboring himself. But out of that situation, I still had goals, and at that point I was very traditional. So I was very traditional, where I looked at it in my household. Rewind back, like, I seen my mom and my father together, and I seen how my mother, she made our food. She brought us our plates. So my mom would cut my food up for me, up till I was 13, I swear. And how she cleaned, how she took care of everything. It was like that traditional household. I did see my mom very unhappy. I did see a lot of stuff that transpired between my mother and father, that now as I'm older, that I realized, like, oh yeah, that shit was toxic too, right? But however, that's what I was brought up on seeing, and I took those same behaviors and I did it within that situation with my ex-husband, regardless of what he was putting back. Because in my mind, and what I've learned from my parents and what I learned from my grandparents, was that as a wife, you're God-fearing, you pray about it, and you stay diligent, and you stick in there, and you hang in there, and you just pray, that things will change, because this is your husband, right? And I feel like, that's not what God wants for us. At the end of the day, it's like, no, I don't feel like God wants you to be bound to emotionally and mentally abusive situations and physically abusive situations. We are always being guided to choose ourselves. That's what it's about, you guys. I haven't told you guys yet, but I am going to speak on this story a little later. But I am a twin flame. So through that situation, literally, it brought me up to meeting my person. And at that time, I didn't know he was my person. But it's like, through all of this, it's like, it showed me, once I was able to do that, how I had to experience these situations to get where I am now, right? To get into be divine feminine energy. I had to experience this. And the whole thing was about me learning to rise up and be my most authentic self, to make life-changing decisions that are going to serve me, 1333 on my timer, right? To embrace a higher level of consciousness. Even through my beginning stages of my connection, when I met my twin, I still was repeating the same habits and patterns and behaviors with this person. It still took me about, I think, into the 4th year, maybe. It had to been, about into the 4th or 5th year for me to get where I'm at now. I think we're going on to 6 years of knowing each other. But it took me into about 5 years, really 4 to 5 years, for me to get my stuff together and really start to love on me. Okay, and this is even after, you understand, everything that I experienced. So I mean, like, my focus is it's like, and I don't like to say the word can't, because sometimes things can happen, and it does. But my goal is to never be that person I was before. It's like, even when, you know, because you get triggered. Even if I start to feel some kind of way with my twin, I literally, you know, just tell myself, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I did this before. I've been down this road before. I will not take my time or my energy to be sad, you understand, or to dwell on what's not working. What I'm going to do is keep my mind focused on the things that make me happy, the things that are serving me, and what I'm doing in my purpose in my life. And that's what's making me feel more self-empowered here, right? But it's all about us deciding to make a choice for ourselves at the end of the day, and search for whatever our purpose is in life, and then ignore the freaking illusions. Okay, 15:15 on my clock. All right, so yeah, so through all of this, it's like, that was my goal. It's like really recognizing me and loving me and staying persistent here in my journey. And I encourage you all to do the same. You know, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy, because when you have been through something, and you've been through something for so long, okay, changing your whole perspective about it can be hard, because you have lost. Can I say lost? Is that the word? You lost yourself. 15:55, I just say on my timer. You lost yourself, right? You're now at a point where you're insecure. You don't know how valuable you are. You don't know that what you really have to offer is amazing, and what you have been offering these people are amazing, but they break you down so much through the pain and the hurt and whatever that they do, that you don't see yourself any longer, okay? And now it's just really about taking those experiences and really changing your perspective about what happened to you, and use those as lessons to be here, a Queen of Pentacles upright, who you are naturally. And that's what I feel like, even through everything that I've been through in my life, or even just through my adult years, that's what God has been always trying to get me to see, that I was and that I am the goddess, okay? I am. This is who I am. I am a goddess. You understand? I am divine. I am amazing. I am, like, just literally just start to affirm all of these wonderful things about yourself, period, okay? And it's hard. I know it can be, because I'm hearing somebody like, it's hard to pick yourself up if you say it's hard. But if you just do it, okay? Force yourself. Even if you don't feel like standing, just say something. I'm great, okay? I'm loved. That's it. It don't even got to be anything major, y'all. Even if you just say, you know what, I am. That's it. That's all I encourage you to do at this time, right? Change your perspective here. Don't hold on to anything that does not serve you anymore, okay? So now is the time to just do the self-reflecting and put back into you, to love on you, because these experiences, like myself, have robbed me of who I was. And I allowed it to, even though I didn't really know better at that time. I did. I was taught a whole bunch of stuff. But it's like, when you are broken down so bad, and your self-worth is so low, it's hard to be divine, I guess. Let's just say it like that. But otherwise, I'm telling you, it takes a lot of healing work. I just think 1818 on my ticker. And in order to be abundant and to feel abundant here, it's all about you offering all of that stuff to yourself, okay? You are, look, tell people, you are in the presence of a goddess, okay? Do you know who I am? Yeah, do you know who I am, bruh? All right? Remember that. Do you know who I am, bruh? Right? Because they forget too, okay? But it's all good. We experience what we experience here, but we also learn from what we have been through, and we make better choices, and we become better people over time, okay? So be patient with yourself is also what I'm hearing. Don't be kind. Be kind, because our minds can be so negative. I remember I would always have to, like, keep reprogramming myself. Like, my mind would literally say the worst shit, y'all. And I just started getting to the point where, like, if my mind be like, you stupid, you ugly, you this, I'd be like, huh, shut the hell up. I'm beautiful. I'm amazing. I'm strong. I'm courageous. You understand? And I would have to do this over and over and over and over again all day long, y'all. Like, literally, it took a lot for me to have to reprogram my thinking. I'm telling y'all, when I say that my thinking was so negative, and it was more about me. Like, it wasn't about the fact that, oh, you understand, that ain't gonna work. No, not that. It was more about, I'm not gonna work. I'm broken. No one's gonna love me. Who's gonna do this for me? That. Okay, so yeah, so again, it's like, do everything that you can do to bring yourself back up. I have in my cell phone, and I think I don't have the other one, but I have affirmations that I write in there. And I would read them to myself. Every time a negative thought comes in my mind, I pull out my phone, let me read my affirmation. I constantly listen to music that uplift my spirit. I ain't listening to no sad shit, okay? And I encourage you not to listen to anything sad. You want to listen to things that are going to feed your spirit, and you want to do things that are going to feed your spirit, so that you will be able to get through your days and to overcome whatever the challenges that you are experiencing. When you start building yourself back up, okay, look, you become untouchable for real. All right, look, unfuckwittable, really, seriously, right? So just keep depositing back into yourself, and keep working on yourself and honoring yourself at the end of the day, y'all. So that's the message that I do want to leave you guys. I thank you so much for tuning in once again. I love you guys always, and the support is phenomenal. Y'all just don't even understand. So, but stay tuned, all right, because I'm getting ready to drop a reading for my Virgos. All right, y'all. Peace.